Hello everyone. Morning my favourite people, Andy says. How's it going? Can you see and hear me? I've got work texting me just at the worst possible time. Hang on 1 second. One second. Right. Forget that. Bit tired, guys. Bit tired. Stayed up all night. Watching a film. Bet you can't guess what it was called. Captain Phillips. I'll never do that again. But that was the story of the game week, right? Did you have Phillips? Did you captain him? Because everyone else was shite. Well, for me, I think there was a few people. Two guy, a few others. That was about it. Morning campus, says Joe. World number one. Yeah. It's been a ride. I don't know how that happened, to be honest with you. Well, Captain Phillips helps, doesn't he? Again though, my transfers weren't particularly good. I bought in Jeffers on a punt. Thought that Arsenal might be a rep game. Turns out it was. He got nothing. We actually got 4 points. But I should have just saved my transfer and played Jensen, who also got 4 points. And then I'd be sat here with Van Nistelrooy on my team and an extra transfer. So again, my transfer didn't actually work out. But the people in my team that I bought in weeks and weeks ago just keep giving me points. The likes of Melchior, Arca, Phillips. I bought these guys in, I think, close to my wild card. Might have even been on wildcard, and they continue to score. But every week I keep making a transfer and it doesn't work. But who cares, right? The jam is real. Rory says moment of silence for Love Shanks and his 7-pointer. Yeah, guys. Yeah, I don't mean to pick him out, but I'm sure you'll see the funny side ish after the initial rage. But he was in 5th, and he managed to get 7 points this entire game week, which is probably the lowest I've seen. That involved captaining Tarico for his red card. Just terrific. He ended up, I think he's down to like 15th or 16th, so not the end of the world, but soul destroying so near the end, right? You've got to laugh. We've all had those moments. Morning, Mark Dorney. Right. Should we get into it? Let's do it. Thank you, Ronald. There's a long way to go yet. I'm not counting my chickens. My team is a mess this week. That's the result of making your transfers for only the weekend in front. As soon as like a big week like this comes up, where there's some injury news, where there's blanks, suddenly my team doesn't look good at all. I've got like 6 people who won't play probably at the moment. So I'm going to have to take hits yet again, despite me not really wanting to, because my swaps haven't been that good. Peace out, Edward. That's Gunnar, by the way. Yeah, you can see it later, of course. Let's get into it, guys. Arsenal and Fulham. What more can be said about Arsenal this sim? Yet again, they should have comfortably won, really. Although 4 shots is not bad for Fulham. Easily the better side. I think Dave said in the comms that Fulham didn't have a shot until the 70th minute. So Arsenal did their thing. They passed the ball around. They twatted about for ages. And ended up getting punished. I know an own goal is not exactly something you can bank on. But there's also the super keeper here from Van der Sar. Obviously they had 8 shots and they only scored 1. So 7 saves potentially. And they got done, didn't they? Jeffers, my man, 3 shots, 3 on target. I can't be upset, can I? Because I've done so well with Captain Phillips. But I feel like he could have got some points here. And when I actually saw that he was starting and I hadn't got the captain armband on him because I was so scared that he was going to get a 1-point cameo or subbed off early or something, I would have, if he'd have offered me the swap, I'd have done it straight away because I was that confident that he was going to do well once I saw he was starting. Turned out he didn't, obviously. Yeah, Scala got Jeffers in as well. Where is my hat-trick? I agree. Normally, he's the kind of player who will score like every shot because he's got this high finishing. And I had a quick look through the match report just to make myself feel better. And the amount of times when he has a shot, Scalo, where it's like Jeffers has a ferocious shot at goal, that old one where you just know that for anyone else they're going in, but somehow Van der Sar just turned into superkeeper. Oh, here's another one. Jeffers hit a savage right-footed shot, but I won't bang on about him because I don't think anyone else has really got him, so there's that. Yeah, missing Vieira and Henry, the cutting edge. I think I'm stunned Thierry didn't get bought on. Some people would have jammed their VC, won't they? But yeah, usually Henry is either in the team or he's not. So I'm not really sure what they were thinking there, sticking him on the bench. But there we go. Fulham, largely dreadful. I still think upcoming for their double, the only players I even really like now are Coleman. I think he's better than Goma. I think he's doing better for average rating and he's got more of an attacking threat, slightly. See, Goma's started to tail off a bit. He can also go to left back, which isn't as good for bonus all the time, but he still seems to make it work. But then obviously he gets the added attacking threat. So I think if you're going for a defender for the double, for me it'll probably be Coleman. Stolzers is still valid, although he's not obviously doing much at the moment. And I think the only other one, I mean, Belmort is obviously a decent punt, but I also like Steve Marley just because I don't think you can rely on Saha or Hales or any of the people to start every week, whereas Marley, when he's fit, he generally plays. And although he hasn't done great, obviously you can be fairly sure that he's going to play both in the double as a forward, and sometimes that's enough, right? So that's the only thing I'm really looking at. Yeah, and Andy's saying Fulham staying up. They've got a chance. I think Everton have got a game in hand. We'll have a look at the table at the moment, but there's a chance they can stay up. Yeah, and Foster 4 million got dropped, so you can't really go there for the double. Scala's right, because Coleman got bought into centre half, and then Higginbotham went left back. So the Foster dream might be dead. I mean, obviously you could play 2 in the double, but it looks a risk. Charlton and Leeds. This game was pretty dull and fairly equal. Leeds a little bit more of the play. Shots were about the same. Yeah, see my man Jensen, who screwed me in the double as well. I should have played, but all hindsight. The only thing I really noticed here is Jason Ewell. He had this, look, headers and 1-12. He did really, really well. And we've said before, for the likes of Van Nistelrooy, Viduka and stuff, this is often a sign that the team is creating a lot of chances for their forwards. And as you can see, he had 3 shots. They were all off target, still got an assist. So Ewell could have got a decent score here. And I do like Ewell for Charlton's games. It's one person I'm eyeing up. Him and Bartlett, obviously. Both been very good, and I think they'll be good options. So although they didn't have all that many shots on target or anything, it looks like the chances were being created. And potentially Charlton could have done really well. Jensen sticking in 11 tackles in midfield. As for Leeds, apart from Viduka, you guys might feel a little bit aggrieved. 3 shots, 2 on target. So that was, I mean, he could have scored there. It's Viduka, obviously he could have scored. But the rest of the team, just awful. Nothing. Kuhl had a couple again, but none of these stats stand out. Low in the passing as well, which is a surprise because look at that team. You know, you stick Rio Ferdinand in here, which shouldn't make that much difference. And that is basically the best team you can pick for me. That's their best team. Maybe sticking in Smith up top for Keane, but Keane's one of those -2 players who's clearly good, just not done that well. So disappointing from Leeds, but pretty shite away, aren't they? They're just awful. Yeah, Rob Reed says they're just bad away. You just cannot rely on them. People taking hits to get Ian Hart. The thing is, it's it's all hindsight or whatever. But in this game, Leeds could have won 2-1 and Hart could have got 2 penalties, and it was a monster score again. So that fear is real. Let's move on. Chelsea Spurs. Again, this is becoming such a common theme for Chelsea now. Look at this. It's every game. Tottenham had 1 shot, 1 on target, and scored 1 goal. So I feel robbed of the Melchior clean sheet. And I got Carboni in my team. 20 shots, only 9 on target. Carboni himself had 3. Where is my points, you muppet? I bought him in about 3-4 weeks ago for this run where they've had 1 million shots every week, and he's not even got me bonus points, I don't think. Chelsea are smashing teams at the moment, guys. It's been going on for a long time. They've just not been getting the results to go particularly their way. Obviously, they won 3-1 here, so it's not bad, is it? But it suggests it will be even better. And again, with the fullbacks, Melchior gets the assist. Babiaro's on, he gets an 8. And then he comes off on the 65th minute, and Gallas comes on the 65th minute and goes to left back, and he gets an assist. Desai also gets the assist here. John Terry has a shot on target goal. So Their defenders are good for attacking points. Fullbacks are bombing forward. It's saying the same thing every week. They've got a double coming up. Melchiot's banned for the double. So there's one man for me that is going to be really important for the double. Spurs have also got some great games coming up, but again this week, just look at that team. They got totally outplayed. Awful. No stats stand out whatsoever. Only Gary Doherty did okay, really. Sheringham trying to win the headers up top. Rebrov dreadful. Awful. Zenden is worth a punt, Audi. Yes, I think he is. He's even the fact that Stanic and Gronchi are back soon is more a worry for Carboni than it is for Zenden. They can go on Zenden's side, but Zenden's a little bit more secure than Carboni. The reason I went Carboni for me is because he's cheaper and generally does better than Zenden because he gets penalties and takes free kicks and corners sometimes and stuff like that. I'm not sure. We'll check that, Carl. I'm not sure when Melchiot's back. We'll have a look in a bit. He might be, but even if he only plays one in the double, no one's going to get him for that, are they? Knowing that. I think he might be back for the final game of the season, but we'll check. Derby Blackburn. Look at this, guys. This was an absolute monster game. This could have been anything. 2-1 to Blackburn. To be fair, this could have been any score. And Derby have been involved in games like this a lot of late. If you own any players from Blackburn, you can feel thoroughly hard done by. They actually had a lot of the ball away from home. Rare thing. And look at some of these stats from some of their players. So many shots here. 3 here for Hignett, 3 for De Boer Janssen with 5 shots, 2 on target, 1 assist. I think he hit the bar at least once. He could have got an absolute haul. Grabby as well, 3 shots, 2 on target, assists. They smashed it. David Dunn came on the 74th minute and still managed to get an 8, 2 shots, 2 on target. Yeah, you can feel hard done by. This formation is basically close to a cheat formation. So it's kind of more like the formations that if you're playing the game you want to play with no wingers and in the centre. So generally the AI doesn't really work particularly well like that, but for some reason they managed to get this one to work pretty well. And I think last week I said whoever plays this role, I think David Dunn got a 10 and assist last week playing here. 2 guy with a 9 and a goal. I know one was a penalty, but 2 guy, if they continue to use this setup, will do very, very well, as will this AMC, as will one of the forwards probably. Yeah, Derby have done a bit of rotation, haven't they? It's just a rep thing. You're at home to a relatively poor side. Doesn't matter that they're better than you. It goes on the reputation. So Valakari just missed out. Makoku come in. His reps increasing every day. So yeah, just one of those unfortunate things. He's one for next season potentially, isn't he? If they keep hold of him. Usually he leaves on a Bosman. Let's see. Oh, he signed a contract. Expires in 2005. And it's protected. So maybe not. Maybe he will be staying. But yeah, Craig Burley, I like him coming up. I like Valakari. I think they're your 2 options. Christie as well is another one for me. 4 shots, only 1 on target. But see, Valakari, I've noticed, been taking a lot of set pieces, and he actually has got a high set piece stat. It's increased, I think, from what it was. I think Carbonari was taking a few, but now they're about equal. So I noticed that Christie's taking a few. Lescott will get game tail. It's just a rotation game. He's in their first choice 11, I think. But they've got loads of centre backs, Derby, and there's no centre back that's miles better than any other one, unfortunately. Leicester and Liverpool. Leicester maybe a tad unfortunate. I mean, the shots on target were pretty equal. The action zones was bang on. This was kind of Liverpool style again, where the games are generally sort of low scoring. They usually try to grind out some sort of win. The goals all came in the first 40 minutes. And stat-wise, there wasn't anything I really noticed. I mean, Sturridge didn't win him any headers, but that's not really his thing. And for Liverpool, the other thing of Michael Owen. This is the problem with Michael Owen. I love him, but especially in the away games, 4 headers, 0-1, 0 key. It's those key headers, and he's got 3 for jumping, so he's essentially a midget. it's a problem because unlike some of the other forwards, even if they don't score, they're probably going to get an 8 rating and probably get bonus just on the fact that they make a lot of key contributions with their headers and stuff. Owen's basically never going to get that. So you kind of have to rely on him to score. It's not to say he's not a great option, because I think he is. It's just that, sticking the armband on him, especially in an away game, is a bit risky because you just never know he's got that bonus to fall back on. Same token, he's got 2 shots, 2 on target. He scores those 2 goals. He gets a 9, man of the match. Everyone's, it's completely different. But there we go. Hancho as well with the man of the match. Loving that. Bought him in 2 weeks. I've had a Liverpool defender all season. Had Hippier from day one, I think. Pretty sure anyway. Had him pretty much the whole season. Sticked with him even when Liverpool were bad. Kept him the whole time. And then as soon as Hippier got his red, just switched straight to Hancho. I love a Liverpool defender. Hippier Hancho. Just bonus machines. Occasionally chip him with attacking returns. Love it. Didn't really expect him to get it away from home, but there we go. Owen got blown out of the water by Jerry Ferry, yeah. Beast. Played at centre back this week as well. Middlesbrough and Villa. Again, Middlesbrough, the sort of mini version of Liverpool. Tried to kill the game off. Villa unlucky though. In the shots, Middlesbrough had a little bit more of the ball. They doubled everything here, didn't they, Villa, in terms of shots? But the game was largely dead. I mean, Middlesbrough did some rotation here. Desiree Job stepping in. Johnston still waiting for that legitimate return in 2002. I think he got accredited an assist by us for winning a free kick. Apart from that, he's basically been a donkey. Boxic with the early sub. That's the thing that happens with him quite a lot. And one thing I noticed is Gordon, even though he's gone to left back, he got an assist here again. I think he's 2 in the last few weeks. A shot on target. And he got an 8. And look at this. 8, 8, 8, 9, 8, 8. It's not really hurting him. The only problem is Middlesbrough aren't doing as well at the moment. But he's not necessarily a bad option. I mean, if you're going to go for a Middlesbrough defender, it's probably going to be him just on penalties because he's also not far away. But he's still chipping away, Gordon. He's not completely dead. But yeah, Steve Stone as well, my man. I bigged him up a few weeks ago. I like him as a cheap option. You're playing on the wings in any team. You've got a chance. He's cheap. I think he's 5 million or maybe 5.5, and he's on penalties. And we can now say, well, we can't say for sure because it's CM, isn't it? But he took it in the 27th minute, and Alan Wright was still on the pitch then, who often will get them. So it looks like he's ahead of Alan Wright for penalties. Villa's fixtures. When you look at their fixtures, they've got 2 decent ones. Home to Chelsea's not a bad game necessarily. Away to Arsenal's pretty dreadful. But home to Ipswich, away to Newcastle, it's not that bad. So I think if you need an enabler, let's say you want to get some money somewhere, then just bringing Stone in is not the worst idea in the world. Of course, you can get a penalty in any game. Where were we? What team were we up to? Newcastle and Bolton. Obviously changed a little bit by the red card. It was in the 75th minute though. So before that, Newcastle, I mean, they were dominant really. They had more of the ball, lots more shots. Should have won more comfortably. Missing Shearer big time. I think when they don't have Shearer, it just doesn't seem to click. Even if Shearer himself doesn't do well, which that's rare to be honest, he usually does, doesn't he? The rest of the team just seems to struggle. I mean, look at this from Bellamy. He played 90 minutes home to Bolton in a game they dominated. He completed 10 passes, didn't do any tackles, didn't win a single header, didn't have an assist or a shot even in the whole time. And he only made 1 run in the entire game. What are you doing, mate? That is a big step down from Alan Shearer, isn't it? Get him off the pitch. Useless. Belendemy. Nice calm. Like it. They'd have been better off playing Cadamartri up front, for God's sake. Yeah. It's a shame. But Solano did well, and quite a few people went for him, I think, or will have him in the team. I mean, it's a pretty good season, isn't it? If we double that, if he actually played most of the season, you probably wouldn't get that, but you're looking at 12 goals, 6 assists in 32. It's a bit of a beast of a season, to be fair, isn't it? Only hampered by injury. Shield would have been better at 1% with a stub toe. He probably would have been, James. Unfortunately, that would have probably ruled him out for the rest of the season. Yeah, Nobby at 6. It's great, isn't he? Right, I don't think there's anything to say about Bolton. Only that Ngotti, again, and Cooper actually played a 6, which is rare for him, but still a great option. And Ngotti is just on an absolute tear at the moment, and even throwing in attacking returns. I don't actually honestly know how. I mean, he's got 18 for jumping, 16 for marking, 14 positioning. Remember, you've got to ignore the fact that a lot of his stats are bad. It's the key ones that are important. And he's not too bad on some of the key ones. Aggression 19 means he gets tackles. So I kind of can see why, but to be honest, he's still shite, isn't he? 3 for work rate. Just sits at the back and chills like Bellamy. 3 for determination. There's no way this guy should be doing well. Andrew's saying, yeah, great if he plays Solano. That's right. Part of their pricing often doesn't. Right, Southampton and Ipswich. This is definitely a game killed by the red card. 1 minute in, Stuart bangs. I had Ipswich doing very, very well in Sims. I think second highest scorers behind Arsenal for me. Both of which failed to do anything. So there you go. But 10-minute red card for Tarico just killed it. I'm fairly sure if he'd have stayed on the pitch, I mean, not only would they have a high chance of a clean sheet, but, well, not a high chance, a decent chance, but he would have probably got attacking returns, such as the way he's been playing of late and how key is that to their attack. So a game just totally ruined, really. Even cheat code failed. It's a rare occurrence. And yeah, James Beattie won a lot of his headers and played his 8, but still didn't score or assist. And Oakley relied a bit on the pen. Well done, Oakley owners, says Andy Martin. Yeah. Not sure there's too many of them, mate. I'd be surprised. That's soothsayer stuff if you brought him in. Now to the West Ham Sunderland game. The game. The one player who scored more points than everyone else put together virtually. Just mad. I mean, look at West Ham's team. What are they doing? Sticking out this Rep 12 defence. It's utter. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, they're home to a low side, so you know why it's happened. It doesn't make any sense, but it does make sense. And what can you do? You just don't know it's coming. Izzy Irikpen has got 7 for positioning. It's so rare. I mean, that's Monk levels. I can't remember what Monk was, but it's something like that. This was essentially Monk versus Viduka again. The most important stat for a defender. Phillips has got 20 for off the ball. So he's going to win every time the ball goes near Irikpen or Phillips. Phillips is going to have found the yard. The thing is, it didn't even work out that way because Phillips ended up getting 2 penalties. So we can't even blame him too much. But there's potential here for Phillips to, if he got these 2 penalties, which is largely jam factor, he could have just scored 2 or 3 from open play. Even though, 8 on target, less of the ball. But it could have been anything from him as a result of them putting them terrible defenders out. That's part of my reasoning in the end for captaining Phillips rather than going for Carboni Jeffers. Was not only was I scared of the 1 point cameo or the subs or anything, I didn't fancy Leeds away at all for that game, and I really want to captain a forward if I can. So it was just default. It's got to go Phillips, and he's got penalties. So I'll just hope that he jams a penalty. Never expected him to go off like this. Absolute jam. Can we skip this game? Scala says. Yeah, it's an odd game week when Rory isn't complaining about something. That's very true. Rory, you had Captain Henry, Vice Captain Phillips, who just got more points than everyone else's team combined. The next time you even put one moan in the chat, everyone just say Captain Phillips, and we'll just leave it as that. And you can jog on, mate. You say you hate Henry. I think you're from Ireland, right? For what he did. He's got to be your best mate now. I'm sorry. He's redeemed himself. I want to see you with a poster on your wall. Michael Reddy as well, by the way. Assist and goal since he came on. Anyone who plays the game knows that this guy can actually get pretty good in the game. Looks like we've got maybe a pretty good version. So maybe one to watch out for next season if there is such a thing. Sibon is just the ultimate foil for Phillips, isn't he? when I put him in my sims, he nearly always plays right wing, not up front, like 95%. So I have to actually manually change him to put his position as an up front player, just so I can mimic the same. But for some reason, they just stick him up front regardless, and he's like, I don't know, the Dwight York or whatever, the creator more than the person who actually scores the goals. It seems to help Phillips even more. Dave stepping in. Oh, just dropping in. was that an intentional mistake there, Dave? An intentional typo? I think people have worked it out, haven't they? Right, there's your teams, guys. Smashed. Yeah, Dave, it's going to be tough. I say my team's in dire straits this week, so I'm not particularly confident. And the jam has to run out. Let's quickly, before we move on, actually just review these games. Just for fun more than anything. Celtic Man United 0-0. Sylvester with the man of the match. That's going to annoy some people, isn't it? Veron got subbed on the 51. Technically still playing orange. Van Nistelrooy with the poor performance away from home. Yellow card 6. Why is that? Hello. Although to be fair, Balde did pretty good. But Ekiog's his nemesis, isn't he? So Man United are through. Dortmund beat Bayern Munich. That could have gone either way. Dortmund are a decent side, but probably would have put money on Bayern Munich. Lazio, well, I say smashed. What a game that was. 6-4 in aggregate, 5-3. Yeah, Lazio possibly going to be in the final, I think. Look at the likes of these guys. Mental. It's got such good players. Those stats are unreal. 32 goals in 34, 15 in 16. Unreal. And then Real Madrid, they kind of jammed this one. They won on penalties. But that's good for Man United's chances of winning, because, say, Roma are definitely the next best side in this. Real Madrid, and so they've obviously got some all right. They've got some great players, but they've also got a shocking defence. They roll out like the West Ham defence. I mean, that's not Champions League quality. Carlos obviously is. Karanka's not particularly good. Campo's pretty shite. They've got some pretty bad players at the back. I mean, you compare it to the likes of Walter Samuel. Yeah, it's no competition, is it? But there we go, and there's the better Emerson, or is that the shit one? Seeing as though we seem to have some sort of beast. Adam saying they swapped him over. Yeah, maybe this guy's an absolute tank. So anyway, what does that mean? Man United are playing Dortmund, and Real Madrid are playing Lazio. So money would be on Lazio, and this can obviously go either way, but probably Man United. So I would say Man United Lazio final, but anything can happen, right? What shall I do now? Shall I talk through Man United's fixtures first, or shall I go through the teams? Let's go through the teams, because then we know who we're even thinking about picking, and then I'm going to do a whole bit on Man United and what I expect for them coming up in terms of rotation. So let's go to the teams. Arsenal. Injury news is just coming in his Brescian. Not Jet, says Rory. You guys have been trolled so hard. Arsenal. Oh, actually, I need to tell you when they're playing, don't I? Silly me. So these are all the fixtures that are due to be played imminently. Virtually everyone. Yeah, Andy, just ahead of you. Leeds and Leicester have 1 day extra to recover. Sunderland and Arsenal, who we're just looking at, have 1 extra day to recover. Chelsea and Fulham blank, so there's only 9 games. So remind me to skim over Chelsea and Fulham when we get to them. Right, so remember, add 7 to 8% on all of these players. Upson's still out, his season's done. Lundberg, few days, 90%. So 1 more day on that, he'll still be orange, but could obviously feature. Jeffers, who I've got, and yet again a failed one move, 88%. Sure, he might go up to 90 something, but it was a 1 week punt. I can't be confident he's going to play. It doesn't look like a rep game to me because it's away from home, so I might have to ship this guy out, but I might have to just leave him and hope from my own personal struggles because I've got other fires now. But it's not ideal. It's not what I wanted to see. Everyone else looks pretty good, guys. Thierry's 100. He's nice and rested. Ashley Cole, nice and rested. Ready to smash Sunderland, which they often do. Aston Villa, Cashlul, sorry for that guy out there. 1 week strained neck. So you might get him back before the season ends. Angel, 90%, 1 week, bruised shin. Ginola's 91%. They play today, so he will. He could easily feature, but there's a chance he could miss out, I guess. Everyone else is good. Blackburn, I think this might be a new injury for Lasho. He's out for a week with a gashed leg. Interesting. More contagious than coronavirus, that is, isn't it? You pick it up anywhere, any place. Damien Duff, 1 week, twisted knee, 68%. So below 70%. When's their match? Today. So he won't play, I wouldn't have thought. And Hignett is 83. So I think he's struggling too. McAteer potentially struggling. 2 guys 93. Maybe it's a tiny bit of a concern. Le Show. Yeah, see, mine was a slip of the tongue, Andy. Right? I corrected it instantly. You've been calling this guy Vijuka for your entire life, and you support Leeds. I think call me crazy. I think that's a bit different, but feel free to take the piss. Why is Janssen unhappy? Do they hate someone in the team? Oh, he wants a new contract. He's been playing well, to be fair. Sign him up. England's future. Sander Westerveld maintaining the greatest average rating for a keeper of all time. Le show must go on. Bolton. Here's Gardner. He's at it again. 82% playing today. Blasting up and down that wing, doing precisely fuck all as a result of him being extremely tired. That will go in the Harry Kewell book of tips from Andy Martin. No business like the show business. You guys kill it. Oh, Andy's been practicing how to pronounce Viduka. We'll see you Saturday night. Brilliant. I can't wait for that. Oh dear, Gardner. Oh dear. I don't know if anyone's still got him, to be fair, but if you have, I mean, he can play. It's over 70%. But home to Everton's a pretty good game. Early sub, likely if he does start. So that's it's fairly upsetting. Cooper's 100. Charlton are largely untouched. Wilcox had the day off, didn't he? Rufus, okay. McAllister's 95. Bartlett's 92. They play today as well. Kinsella's 92. Yule's 93. Robinson is the one at 81%, but you expect Wilcox just come straight back in. Fortune 10 days, 16%. Sandhelt. Peter Almenda's 2 weeks with a sprained ankle. Except for Rene Gardner might get sent off first. Was he reffing that game, Scala? He is. Bolton home to Everton. Rene is reffing that game. Nice spot. Some quick eyes. Well, you know, Gardner could blast past a few people. He's got high dribbling. So it could be the opponent he's getting sent off. We did, yeah, we done Charlton, haven't we? Yeah, let's move on. Chelsea. So a little bit of news here. Batty's obviously still out, 3 months. Gronkar's 10 days with a calf strain and 79, technically can play. Keenan, few days with a dead leg, 90%. Stanic, 10 days with a groin strain, 90% as well. I swear these feel like they've been injured forever, but I think the game's just been coming so thick and fast. But yeah, Babayaro. Obviously, Chelsea aren't playing this week, are they? So there's not really much to talk about. But he's out for a week with a bruised thigh. So if we go to Chelsea's fixtures, it's the 20th. Their next game, home to Man United, for the double, is on the 27th. Bang on a week. So he should be back. But we can't be sure. But we'll worry about that next stream. Because they blanked this week, right? So you're not going to be bringing him in for a blank this week, are you? So you're just going to have to wait. I'm fingers crossed that he's fit, because I'll probably be getting him myself. No, see, it says about a week, so we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. If he's not available, I'll just go for this man. Or Desai. Right, Derby. Playing today. Some low percenters here. Aranio 87, Blastis 89. Burley's 95. I'll just talk about the popular ones really. Burley's 95. I'll say popular, but you know what I mean. Burley 95%. Falakari should be fully rested up. Where's he gone? Back from the beach. There he is, 100%. Ravanelli's 100. Where's Christie? He's 99. So Aranio's looks like the only real worry. In the centre backs, I mean, Blastis, that's good if you've got Lescott, for example. So you're not really too worried about that. That's it. Any chance of a Rep 12 versus Southampton? Yeah. There is. They're home to a poor side. It's just a % chance. It's yeah. Nothing is confirmed. Basically, there's no way to know. It's just you always have to bear in mind there is a chance it will happen. And Derby have been one of the teams that do a full team, so you just don't know. Everton, Stubbs injured, 10 days, twisted knee. I think that was already the case though. Gazza's 93%. He's requested a transfer. Now he would like to stay at the club and he enjoys the team style of play. He's all over the place, Gazza. It's always fun reading this bit. Seems to change every week. See where he's at next week. Everyone else is good. Fulham. Louis Saha, 10 days with a strained neck. Injured during training, 84. So could feature, but unlikely. Could be good news for Boamorte owners. He could go up front. But you'd have thought, yeah, Marley and Boamorte, or I suppose Hales randomly came in, didn't he? But I wouldn't expect that. But it's obviously a possibility. So Boamorte could be up top, Leicester away. But this is oh shit, we'll talk about it again. You've let me talk and you forgot that Fulham are blanking. This is 7 days, so oh yeah, Saha might still be out. Makes Boamorte potentially a better pick for the double, doesn't it? Because you'd think that he's still orange at that point, so at least you might get away to Leicester with Lewis Boamorte up top. Ipswich. Finidi out for a month. Groin strain. He is done. goodbye. Thanks for the 5 goals. Playing up front most of the time. Magilton's 3 months. Miller is 1 day, 79%. Zach Brannigan, few days, 90%. Carrick 91 and Guardso 87. They played today. All the popular picks are fine. I'm not even going to read that column. I'm just going to laugh at it. Get ready. It's Leeds. The worst kept secret in the history of CM is confirmed. Viduka. He's out. I think he's owned by like 70%. Oh, nice one, Rob Reed. I'll go check that in a sec. I shall check Tarico's ban. I think it's like 70%, right? He's done. Who wants me to click this and see how long for? Ferdinand's a few days, 90%. Their match is tomorrow. But if he doesn't play this one, then he should be back for the weeks after that. All these guys here can obviously get 7 to 8% on them. So Robbie Keane, probably be 98, 99. You guys are such for jokers. It's 3 weeks, guys, with a twisted ankle. 3 whole weeks. The man with 29 goals, just shy of the 30 mark, average rating over 8, is out for 3 weeks. So, we are on the 20th. To me, and you guys that are probably better than me at maths, equals... I mean, look at the gap here. There's no way he's not back for Liverpool at home, right? So I think he misses these 3. And it would depend whether... I suppose he could go orange here. 4th of May. I don't think so, but maybe. But that's a home to Southampton potential rep game, and he's orange. So I wouldn't bank on him starting that at all. So it looks like home to Liverpool might be his final chance to hit 30 goals. Yeah, 3 weeks equals 1 week for us because we play game weeks every 2 days or whatever. But yeah, he's done, isn't he? I say, probably just back for home for Liverpool. Andy Martin saying he scored 4 goals against Liverpool in that fixture in real life. Well, I wouldn't put it past them. Leeds are monstrous at home, aren't they? So it could be a final day punt. Could be that we go there. I need to go back for Tarico, don't I? And yeah, you guys saw everything else. Everyone else is okay. And so they're playing tomorrow, so they'll have 7 to 8%. So now the question is this man a worth a look? I mean, you got Alan Smith, you got Bridges, you got Keane. Smith is generally a little bit higher rep than Bridges, and has played more in this sim than Bridges, although Bridges has been injured for quite a lot of it. So I would say that Alan Smith will probably come in. The problem you've got is, for me, is that there's no guarantee that then Smith plays the next one or the one after, because Smith is a rotatable player, as is Bridges. So I think it's definitely a valid punt to go there, because you could obviously smash it, but you still will be worrying that whether Smith or Bridges will start the next one. That's what I think. Robbie Keane is the safest option. The problem is he doesn't really seem to score that many goals in comparison to the person who's actually up front. He's dropped in. So it's kind of, do you go safe and go Robbie Keane and probably play all the games, but maybe not get that much returns, or then go for a Smith with the chance he doesn't play but can bang 2 or 3 goals? I think he's quite cheap for Rob. I'm not sure how much he is. But Smith is actually like a really good player in the game, obviously, but Bridges is actually probably a better goal scorer. He seems to score whenever he plays. So to be honest, I would prefer Bridges to actually play. He's got some nice attributes. He's got high finishing. That anticipation here is really, really good for spotting the passes that are going to come into him. It's similar when you combine that with off the ball that strikers get lots of opportunities. His jumping's not bad. His technique's high, that's good. His flair's high. All of that is really good for forwards. So he is a really good forward in the key areas. He's obviously got pace. So I do really like him, but just don't know who's going to start, do you? Right, Trico. One match. How the hell do these people get away with it? I get Hippier and Melchior and they're out for free every single time. People get Kylie and Trico and they're out for one match. What is this bullshit? On the 1st to the 5th. So he's going to miss Newcastle at home. Aston Villa away, Everton away, misses Newcastle at home, Chelsea away. 3 away fixtures. Still not great, is it? But was it 2 yellows? Oh, I'll let him off. I'm still annoyed. Leicester then. Is it a few days, 73%? None of these guys ever play. Sturridge is 93. They play tomorrow though, so should be back up to full. Everyone else is okay. Survived. Liverpool play today. Jamie Redknapp's still out 10 days. Murphy's 87, so might not see him. He gets rotated anyway, doesn't he? Gerrard's 90%. Maybe a small chance he drops out. Again, he's a player that will occasionally. So does it. If you play for Liverpool, you've always got a chance, haven't you? Owen's 99%. Fowler's 99. Hippier is still on his 2-match ban, so I think he comes back for the last game of the season, doesn't he? Last 2 games. Yeah, Stevie G at 90. Bit of a worry. I mean, it's comfortably enough to play the game fine. Man United. So, Dwight York is still 2 weeks with a broken arm. 90%. Stewart's a month. And Veron is still unavailable for about 10 days at 90% orange. Keane doesn't start his ban until the 24th for 2 games. So he's available for this home to Middlesbrough. Emerson's okay. Everyone's okay. So another player I'm eyeing up bringing in this week is Emerson, because I think the Man United will rotate moving forward probably, and he covers that nicely for such a cheap price. But I suppose the worry is that Veron and Keane could still actually play this one, because Veron's been playing. He is 90% an orange though, so if you do go Emerson, like I still might, just because he's a good option moving forward, I think. There's a chance he won't play, I suppose. The other thing is it's actually home to a poor side. I mean, Middlesbrough, their rep is 12 in the game. It may have gone up a little bit up when they were doing well, but it's still low for Man United, 12 to 13. So there's always the chance as well that you get a few rotated. I don't think it'll be a full team, but I think that there's always a chance. Yeah, Rob's calling it. Veron did play in the Champions League, yeah. He came off on the 51st minute. Emerson can't play in the Champions League. He's tied or whatever. He's not registered for their squad, sorry. So there's that. So you could argue they were forced to play Veron. I don't know. I think it's more likely that because he's orange in 90, they played him. Yeah, I'm going to talk through Man United's rotation. Should I do it now? Let's do it now. Okay, this is how I see this. Right, home to Middlesbrough. It's home to a lowish rep side. There might be a little bit of rotation, but that's no different from any other game. For me, this is where it gets tricky. So, Man United could have won the league once they beat Middlesbrough. They're obviously in the Champions League, as you can see. Now, the game seems to throw out at this point reputation. It doesn't matter who they play, whether they're away, whether they're home. The percentage chance of the players getting rotated, and I'm talking full team here, full team rotation, just seems to go sky high. Now, it's not confirmed. We cannot sit here and say Man United will rotate in the Chelsea game, the Arsenal game, whatever. But the percentage, if I had to guess, from going from, like, say, a normal 10% rep game home to a rough side, goes anything probably up to like 50%. So I would urge all of you guys, if you run Sims, is to go into your games and look at Man United when they get to this stage of the Champions League, and look at the games, especially the game just before the semi-final, the game in the middle, and then definitely the last game of the season if they make it to the final, and see what rotation you get. The problem is you can have one guy go check it 10 Sims and see that they play all of them, full team, no rotation, and then someone else could do it and see they rotate 10 times. There's nothing certain. It's like quantum mechanics. But all I know is from checking all of mine and from what I see, the rate goes incredibly high. It happens a lot and it doesn't seem to matter who they play. So for me, away to Chelsea, that's like 50% chance that they could rotate in that game. Do we then go home to Arsenal? Again, probably 50% chance they don't play in that game. It's a full rotated side. The one I think they're pretty safe is away to Everton, because I generally see it as around the Champions League just before and during the games, but I don't see it after very often. Again, it could happen, but as this is also not a rep game because it's away, I think that one probably is going to be okay, and that'll be part of the double. It's not a great game, but it's pretty good. It's against Everton, right? Then obviously it depends on whether they win in the semi-finals for Dortmund as to whether this would be a rep game. It won't be a rep game normally. They'd play their full team there. But if they're in the final, again, the percentage will go to something like 50%. So there is a chance for me that Van Nistelrooy, he'll play this one, I would have thought, because it's only when they do full rep that Van Nistelrooy usually misses out. Generally plays 35 a season. So you could say Van Nistelrooy plays Middlesbrough at home, great game. 50% chance he plays Chelsea. 50% chance he plays Arsenal. Probably closer to like 100%, assuming he didn't get knackered from this or injured in any of these games. And then that one comes down to whether they made it to the final or not. But you could transfer him in at that point. So for me, I think I'm going to go without him. And Andy says they're not likely to win the season this week. Yeah, I think if it's still pretty much certain, there's always a chance they could still rotate. And I think we're talking like Danny Webber up front and stuff like that. We'll see. But don't take my word for it, guys. You look through your sims, see what happens. And as ever, it's a % chance. I might not bring Van Nistelrooy in. He could easily bang 2 or 3 in this game home to Middlesbrough. He could then play versus Chelsea, but that's not a particularly good game for me. Man United away to Chelsea. Chelsea usually really do well in that game, but it's Van Nistelrooy, so obviously you could do well. And then, I don't know, this is the double, right, where everyone will probably still have Van Nistelrooy regardless, and probably as captain. I think I'm just going to rely on Team Leak and see if we get a Team Leak or something. Hint, Andy, as to whether I should bother getting him in. And just chance that he doesn't do well against Middlesbrough and doesn't play or does rubbish against Chelsea. And then see what I'm doing in 37. But that's kind of my plan in my rough head at the moment. It may change. I don't know. Let me know your findings. Well, Dwight York might be back, Alan, towards the end. He's only 2 weeks away. But I would have thought he'll be full rotation. So Andy Cole won't play. But because he's a low rep player anyway, he could. That's why I think Emerson's a good purchase now. No United team leaks would ruin it. Come on, Andy. It's a double with Van Nistelrooy. You Leakey's out. We suddenly all got to go different. You Leakey's in the team. We've all got to get him. You do nothing. We have heartbreak. You're such a cruel man. I don't know. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Emerson I think is now a good pick because obviously he can't play Champions League. That doesn't factor in to the decision not to play him. But because these are rep games and technically Veron and Keane are the better the better partnership. I think he will play quite a lot of these. Factor in Veron's still orange, could get injured in his next game easily. Keane's got his suspension. And obviously Emerson can't play in these games, so he can't get injured in them because he can't feature. Anyway, that's my take. Don't take my word for it. Like I say, it's a % chance. They could easily play every game. It could also be Van Nistelrooy's last game of the season this week. That's why we love CM, right? Oh, something like that. Middlesbrough then. When do they play? They play today. So Paul Ince 92. I think he was low condition last week, so he could feature now. Gordon's 96. Emerson Boyce is out for 10 days with a twisted knee. He's been playing right back. Everyone else looks good. Boxic, Festa, etc. Newcastle. Alan Shearer, 90%, out for a week with a broken toe. But we know what that means for Alan. Game today, away to Spurs. Would not be in the slightest surprised to see him line up. Crossley ban. I knew I can count on you guys. 3-match ban starting on the 1st of May. So he misses the last 2 games of the season. Away to Man United, away to Southampton, he's available. Yeah, away to Spurs isn't an amazing game, but they do play open and they can't defend. So, and it's Alan Shearer on penalties, so I think he could do well. The problem is, are you going to bring in a player who can get injured again straight away? I don't know about that. Just checking my work aren't messaging me. Who else do we care about here? Acuna's 10 days damaged shoulder. God, I'm tired. Out for 2 weeks with a chest injury. Elliot. Galavan's 85%. That'll be good news for Barton owners. Although away to Spurs, probably not a game you want to be playing in. Chettel's still 3-match ban. Everyone still hates Robert. Southampton, we're going to skip this. Delap 90%, stub toe. Everyone else incredibly low percent. No, doesn't matter what percent they are. No one's buying them. Sunderland, injury to Danny Mills, damaged heel. They've mixed it up. Not gone for the toe, gone for the heel. Achilles. Few days for Danny Mills, but he's red. Play tomorrow, so add 7 to 8%. Phillips is 100. Where's Arca? He's 96. So we're all good. I suppose McCartney could come in at right back. Or they could go for the burnt Haas. Flashback to the beginning of the season. Yeah, Landes is going to Monaco. Letizia had too many McDonald's. Tottenham. Perry's 90%. Stub toe 90%. Yeah, a few days. My phone's going crazy. Who keeps messaging me? Turn that shit off. Doherty's 90%. They play today. Sheringham's 91%. Poya 95%. Selakovic, Rebrov 100 each. And finally, West Ham. who've started to clear up a little bit. I mean, they had most of their team out and they still threw out a rep game, but they play away to Liverpool today. Canute is 10 days, 90%. Joe Cole's 100. He's back from the British Natural History Museum. That's about it, guys. So it's only really Viduka, isn't it? Is there anything else team news wise I didn't click that you want me to look at? Who's saying Keller's still available? Oh yeah, he got a red card, didn't he? 3-match ban, 27th of the 4th. So he's going to miss West Ham, Leicester, Charlton. So this man will probably be in goal the way it's been going at the moment. Right, let's go to the league. So in terms of relegation, Rob, I think they can be relegated this week, can't they? Yeah, I'll do the Division 1 table. Fulham are... Everton have got a game in hand, but only 2 points ahead. So if they lose that, suddenly it's on. The Great Escape is on. And they're away to Bolton. Someone says they want me to click Mailchimp. 3-match ban starting on the 24th of April. So, Mrs. Man United, Mrs. Fulham, Mrs. Villa. Have I got that right? Back for Ipswich at home. Yeah. You useless bastard. Do something. Shoot 9 times at goal and do nothing. Lewis Bowen, captain for Mayans, Malbronk and Stolzers. Fair play. He's going all out on Fulham. Fair play indeed. Right, Division 1 quickly. Someone's asked me to look at. So, Watford are champions. They're promoted. Some of their better players here. Could be seeing if there's a season 2. Tommy Smith firmly on the radar if he doesn't get bought, which he often does. Helgeson. Vanenza's decent. Robinson can be decent. Lots of 20s here. Millwall looks like, yeah, they've secured playoffs, so good chance. Could end up with a second spot as well. Cherno Samba could be making an appearance. But they've got lots of players. Everyone knows about Millwall in this game. Loads of decent options. At least if you play the game and you buy them. Whether they're actually good in the AI's hands, I'm not overly sure. And then obviously, yeah, Man City. One Chop's been tearing it up. A lot of these players actually get sold, by the way, so they'll come up and then people will just buy them. So it'll be nice if they actually stay with these teams. Richard Doone. Hasn't he got like the most own goals in Premier League history or something? There's Roy Keane's mate. Clement is an absolute beast of a defender. 13 assists. He'd be like the new Ian Hart. Set pieces. Plays left back usually. It's a demon. Richard June. Throwing in the J. Richard Doone. A June. It's Richard Dunn. I am aware of that. I'm taking the mic in case you didn't realise. Hitchcliffe. Hinchcliffe. He's alright. Not great options here. Tommy Hansen could do alright. Did someone say that's Lescott's brother? Richie Wellens. Yeah, he's a beast. Playmaker. Look, they barely played him. That's a mistake. He could have been tearing it up. He can play at the Prem level straight from the beginning. AI, man, they're stupid, aren't they? It's that Marauder, Rory, I think. Seems to be. But, I mean, they've played them all, haven't they? So I suppose it could be anyone. But Marauder's on the bench last week. I think he's generally been the one on the bench, so I'd expect it to be him. Right, I'm going to bring up the odds quickly then. Shouldn't be sharing these, should I? I'm good to you lot. Can we see Stuart Pearce? Oh yeah, he did talk about that. Where's he gone? Did he go back to Forest, or did he... Nottingham Forest, transfer arranged for the 4th of June 2002. There's a player. Good effort. Still got those 20s going strong. Pace 7. Acceleration 6. It's going to struggle with that, isn't he? Jumping 9. Stamina 8. But he works hard. Good old Stuart. Reflexes 2. That's a goalkeeper stat though. Doesn't do anything. Right. Oh, manager stats. To be fair, those aren't bad, are they? 20 for determination. You expect nothing less. But it's the coaching you want if you've if you've got him as an assistant manager or a coach. But that's not bad. Could see him in the Premier League soon. He's faster than Teddy, Scala says. Yeah. I think my nan's faster than Teddy. Right. Let's talk through these then. Okay. Hopefully you can see that pretty clear. Oh, I've just messed that up. So, Aston Villa, Ipswich. Villa did okay for clean sheets. You can see Schmeichel could be a decent option. But the game wasn't particularly high scoring. Ipswich weren't that good. 4 clean sheets and not that many goals. Blackburn and Charlton. I expected Blackburn to score more than this average, but as you can see here, they won 16 games out of the 20, and they had 10 clean sheets. So they largely dominated the game, just didn't seem to score all that many. Now, I think that could just be bad luck in the 20 I've done, because if you look at the individual games, I've got a 4 here, 3, 3, 3, a 5. So I think they might be able to score a few more than that. They certainly had explosive games in here. Bolton and Everton. Bit surprising that Bolton did so well for goals, but home Bolton playing their attacking formation. Everton largely dreadful. You can kind of see it. I don't think many people have got anyone from these guys, but if you've got the likes of Colin Cooper, you're not really even looking for the clean sheets. You're just looking for the bonus points and stuff, aren't you? And if Gardner features, I guess he could be involved in the attacking play. Same as Rob Lee. Derby and Southampton, this was a surprise to me. They're the highest scorers this week on my Sims. Southampton, well, not a surprise actually, because Southampton are awful. But Southampton still managed to score quite a few. Still not many clean sheets. And the likes of Christie did very well, I noticed. Ravanelli, when he played, did well. Valakari, Burley, obviously on penalties. The names you guys all know about did particularly well. You just have to be wary. It's potentially a rep game from them. But yeah, I think they're good options this week. There's a 5-3 in here to Southampton. But it's looking good. I had Southampton, interestingly, play either normal or sometimes even attacking away from home. Now, that could be because I haven't got the managers bang on, and I've made it up at sort of not got the attacking level of the manager at the correct point. But it'll be one to look out for, because On some of the games where that happened, that's when we saw this absolute chaos of 4-3, 5-3. Barely any teams play attacking away from home. Only usually the top teams. But Southampton threw it on occasionally against Derby. So, yeah, so take my results maybe with a pinch of result on that one. Liverpool West Ham. Look at this, 15 out of 20 clean sheets. That's up there. Rarely get more than about 13, 14. 0.35 goals conceded as well. On top of that, looks fairly assured of a clean sheet. Home to West Ham, potential rep game. Just throwing it out there again. But that looks like a comfortable. I mean, they still didn't spank teams, but there are 2s and 3s in here. Just a standard Liverpool game. Man United Middlesbrough. Not as many goals as I thought I would see, but again, this is the Middlesbrough thing, isn't it? Much like Liverpool, where they tried to kill the game, they'll try to keep the goals down. However, within it, I've got a 4 here for Man United, a 4, a 5, another 4, a 3. So they could go off. The average was brought down by a lot of 0-0s. 1, 2, 3, 4 0-0s recorded, which doesn't ever really happen in CM, so it could just been bad luck. So yeah, again, I would expect Man United's average obviously would be a lot higher if they didn't record 4 0-0s in my sims. I still think Hancho, Risa, near probably those two. Tottenham Newcastle. This was largely a goal fest. Either way. I made it so Shearer was available, but you can't replicate orange flags. So he was just fully available. So whether he plays or not, I don't know. That may change things, but this is what I got out of this one. Lots and lots of goals. Again, there's 5s, 3s, 4s. Generally a fun game, that. Again, there's not many clean sheets on show here. Leeds and Leicester. So this is without Viduka. Still largely the better side. Only 10 clean sheets, 50% rate. You're obviously going to be playing Hart, aren't you? Involved in attacking output. Leicester, I mean, that's not bad away from home. They managed to score goals away from home quite a lot, Leicester, so not bad at all. 0 clean sheets for them. Yeah, and I had a 6-2 down here, 3-0, 3-3. So again, we could hit a game where they just go off, and the likes of Robbie Keane, Alan Smith, Bridges could do very well. I'm getting a phone call now. Bear with me 1 sec. I'll be back. Stare at that. Hello? Speaking. Sorry about that, guys. Technically working from home today, so I have to sort something out. Working. This is where I get all my time for my Sims. Where did I even get to? Leeds and Leicester. We did that. And yeah, Sunderland Arsenal. So as you can see again, the clean sheets here rare for both teams. Usually you see more clean sheets from Arsenal away from home in Sims anyway. I've got Kylie, who also got 0. So I think Blackburn will have a whole heap of shots, so I might play Kylie just for the shots. But at the same token, Sunderland seems to get a lot of shots, with Phillips getting shots off all the time. So maybe go Seaman, not decided. But yeah, goals wise, again, 2s and 3s in here. Generally, if there's goals for Sunderland, you know who's involved. So not the worst idea. And I think that's it, guys. Have I covered everything? Is there anything else you guys want to see? Is anyone bringing in Van Nistelrooy this week? That's what I want to know. Are you getting Van Nistelrooy and just hoping that, well, A, he pays you back straight away this week, and B, he continues to play? Rob Reed saying Henry hat-trick this week. Yeah, Henry stood out in that game a lot. He really did. He seems to like that game. No one from the Prem. Viduka injury history. Gashed arm. Twisted ankle. Beast. Any other questions, guys? Yeah, I should have done that audio. I should have kept Van Nistelrooy, played Jensen, and then I'd have him this week with a free transfer. Again, I spanked it on Jeffers, but we saw 3 shots, 3 on target. Could have been a masterstroke. Not to be. Colm saying, love champ man. James disappears to the kitchen and Luke for a phone call. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have a choice. I have to answer that. I'm sorry, guys. Right, I think we'll wrap it up then, guys. Good luck. Lots of game weeks now in quick succession. 4 weeks left. I think I'm going to change up my strategy a little bit because, like I say, even though I've been doing well points-wise, I've been bringing in whoever I thought was the best option on this week. That person then fails for the week, and then my team's in a bad position. This week I've got Carboni, Melchior, who have both got a blank. Got Viduka, obviously. Got no Van Nistelrooy. I've got Chadwick, who won't play. And I've got Jeffers, who are for me, is highly unlikely to play that game. So it was just a 1 week punt. I didn't want to, but I may have to keep him. So that's potentially 6 players out. Hits! We love it. Right, I'll catch you guys later. And thanks for tuning in.